All right, we're gonna start on our pet stocking.
Hi.
And we are in the process of cutting all the fabric up and the stabilizer up and stuff. And what do you know, we have this thing. I'm gonna show ya. So right here on fabric C, it says cut 2 from the stocking pattern, which is on your USB stick. So Sue, how'd you get it out?
I put it into my computer, looked for the pet stocking, and there is a PDF on the in the pet stocking folder, and so then I printed it out. Now the first time we didn't pay attention and we printed it out double-sided. You don't want it double-sided. You want to be able to cut up all the pieces. So be sure that you check the thing on your computer so it doesn't do double-sided.
Okay, so check this out. Here, this is the cuff. We're gonna set that aside over here. And then we have A, B, C, and D, like this. And we're gonna cut it. Sue recommended that we leave just an little extra room here, so don't cut right along the dotted line here and right along the dotted line there, because then you won't be able to see the dotted line. So we're gonna give just a little space so you can actually see where the dotted line is at, okay? And then we'll
C and D.
Yep, C and D. We'll do that and get right back to you, and this cuff thing as well. So we'll show you what we did with this. Okay, we're gonna debunk a myth. One more thing. Okay, so I asked her, I said, so do we need special scissors for cutting paper? Because, you know, these are super yummy and buttery and we love them so very much. And I was just like, so am I gonna ruin the scissors?
No.
She laughs.
Well, it's
Clearly I am believing a myth.
no. Well, a long
It's a sewing
time
myth.
ago, it might have been true, but paper patterns have been out there for a very long time. But PJ convinced us that there is not, and I've used it both ways, and I haven't seen any significant difference or even any difference. So I'm careful with what I cut with them. I wouldn't cut cardstock with them, but the copy paper is very thin, and it's not going to hurt
So
anything.
honestly, I think that Brett believes that we're not supposed to use these scissors. So no one tell him, okay? This is a secret between us and the warm winter wishes people. All right, so you guys, what we did is on one, we cut right along the dotted edge, and the other one here, I did not. And then that way it made it so that we could match up these little dot, 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 dot signs. Okay? And there's our pattern. Okay, guys. So what's happening here, we realized we ran into a shindig here, is that, do you see where it says on the lining, cut 2 from the stocking pattern? Well, don't cut it in the stocking pattern right away. What you need to do is, we realized this as we read the directions, you need to have it, just cut it into the same dimensions as the front, okay? 22 by 14. So then on fabric C, do the same. They should have said that, and cut it 22 by 14 as well. That's a very important part, because here it is. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a sandwich with and what we chose, instead of a green inside, we chose this to be our inside fabric, okay? So this is our inside fabric, and this is the wrong side. You can see it here with the batting in between, like this, all right? So this is how it's sandwiched together. Do you see that? Here's the right side's up here, and the wrong side's inside with the batting. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to iron it with this. With the free fuse. And we're going to sprinkle some of this on there and iron it on medium heat, so that then we have a little quilting sandwich to be able to,
without any pins.
Yep, without pinning. All right. Okay, so Sue and I, we went and we put these together, and with the fusible powder, and iron them and we put 2 of these batting sandwiches together so that we can start quilting. Okay, so we're going to start with that part of the directions first, is we're going to quilt. And we have all the other pieces here ready to go. While we were there in the iron, we also decided to put together the webbing as well and fuse them to our fabric so that they're ready to go as well. Okay? Quilt this sandwich together, we're going to have to put on a dual feed foot with a quilting guide, and then we'll get some Quilter Select cotton thread and bobbin, and then we'll be ready to start.
We're starting down the other side.
Hey, Sue, tell us about your Sashiko machine.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so as Christy was doing this, and we're kind of like, oh man, and I said, oh man, if my Sashiko wasn't in storage right now, that's what I would be using for this, because it's so relaxing. I just love quilting with it.
And I'm like, how the heck does a Sashiko machine get relaxing? She went off on how relaxing it was, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to buy me one. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'll buy one because I want what she's got.
It's very relaxing. You can't go fast. It kind of gets sassy if you try to go too fast. And so
like,
you
don't rush me, huh?
Yeah, don't rush me. So,
I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got the 2 panels now quilted. You can really especially see it on this side, and there it is all the way through. It worked like a charm with the walking foot and with the quilter thing. And Now it's time for tea and chocolate. Mm-hmm.
What you doing?
Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I only cut one of the quilted sandwiches. And I made sure that the lettering on the pattern was facing up. Because now what I'm gonna do is, here's the next quilted sandwich. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna flip it this way. And pin it and cut it. Now it's time to put some sticky tearaway into the hoop. And the size of hoop again, what is it?
5x7.
5x7.
Tearaway, and it's sticky, so paper side up. Then you're gonna take a pin and we're just gonna score the paper. Now I'm just gonna bring my pin in, pick up the paper, and tear it off. So I'm just cutting up the templates so we can add it to our, maybe. There we go. Sorry, I know how to use scissors, but
That's fine.
Okay, so now we need the stocking.
Right here.
So we're gonna put this, you pick. Do you want it like that?
Like that.
Okay,
Do you want me to do it?
no. I just want to cut it smaller so you can
See
see better, because I don't want to pin I don't want to waste the printable. But see, now you can see better
Yeah.
where. So
Just do it like that.
okay. So I'm gonna pin it. What's still right?
Yep.
Okay. If we use the sticky, it would be. All right, now these crosshairs, we want to use the crosshairs.
These crosshairs here. Yep. Great.
So that one might, we'll see.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Now we're gonna go to the machine.
All right. So we know how to get to this point. And do we scroll up until we get to the pause? And there it is. Do you press set? Okay. Now we're going to rotate this, right? How are we going to do that? Edit and rotate.
And we need to go 90. There we go.
That looks about right. Like that. Like that. All right, good. So we press OK. embroidery. Okay, so what we did is we went over to here, which causes that dot. Do you see the dot right there? Okay, pull it out so you can see it. Now we need to place that right over the crosshairs. And how we're gonna do that is by using these arrows here on the side.
I'll take this back. We can move, go to move, and then
we can move it. So let's try to get those right onto the crosshairs. So we've found where dot is. It's on the crosshairs, and now we can take off these pins. All right, so we just did the basting stitch that shows us where to put the paw, or put the black part of it down. And what I folded this in half to find where the center of this is, because the basting stitch shows where the center of it is, okay? And I'm gonna put the precision tape on here just to keep it secure and down like this before I go to the next step. All right, so we're a little confused here because you can see that there's it doesn't share what the next stitching is, but it has the X where these chenille parts are.
Go ahead and go button.
So we're going to let it go. We're going to kind of let it run and see what happens. So what we're going to do is, it wasn't placed, this was not placed correctly. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually let it stitch out whatever it is it wants to stitch, because it's not going to tell us. It's an imaginary stitching. So we're going to let it go and see where it is that it leads us. Okay. The next one, it shows that we can actually see that, which is what it just stitched. So that just shows us where it is that we're supposed to actually place this black piece. That's what we're going to do now. Here's the paw. There's the paw. Yay. Super cute. Cute. Now it's time to be able to put the 3 pieces over the top here, to be able to make the chenille. And here are the channels.
Are you gonna tape them?
Yeah. We do need to tape them down with the precision tape. And let's get it started. Now we're going to cut around. Black on black probably makes it hard for you guys to see, but
Is that not the easiest channel killer ever?
It's so easy.
Oh my gosh.
And that's it.
Cool.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
There. And now it's time for the placement stitches for the toes. Stitching, and we're going to put it right there over the top of the black. At the very edge. There it is. Now we are here at the iron. We need to be able to put the pressing cloth down on it and press the little toesies on. All right, it's time for the applique stitch. We're going to put this back on there again, lock it down. Let it do its thing. Good morning, you guys. We're back, and we're gonna finish up our pet stocking. So we have left off where the rick rack comes in. It's number 11 on the instruction book, and that's exactly what Sue's doing over here.
My wash away. Did it say 1 layer or 2 in the directions? Do you know?
So we need to know whether there's 1 layer or 2 layers over here.
Is it pretty stitches?
So here's number 11. To make your own freestanding rick rack, hoop 2 layers of rinse away mesh stabilizer.
Excellent.
Okay.
So I cut 1.
We're doing a 9. What's the dimensions on our
This is a 6 by 10 hoop
6 by 10?
because one of our rick racks is 9 inches.
Okay.
And your embroidery always comes out best if used the hoop closest to the size of your embroidery.
Okay. And we're going to make extra rick rack because we're going to use it for more than just the name tags on there. We'll explain why here in just a moment. Show you how to get the rick rack off of your machine.
Onto your machine.
Oh, so yeah, you don't want to off the machine. We want to on from the machine and onto here. Pet stocking, embroidery file. No, go ahead. You push it. I'll just say embroidery file. And then the instructions ask us, see, because there's the rick rack trim and then there's a rick rack trim.
So which colors do you want?
I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, doesn't matter.
Oh, this is a DST, so we're going to
Okay, we'll do PES.
And then we're
Okay.
going to hit set because that's what we want.
Yes.
All right, so now we're going to hit edit.
Because we want to do more than one.
So we're going to hit move. We're going to move it on over. Boop. So, there we go. And then I want to add more, and I want them to be right across from each other. So I'm going to hit the border function, which is these little brick wall here. I'm going to select that. Now it's going to give me the choice of adding top to bottom or left to right, or right to left, depending on how you have your design in there. So I hit going across, so I can add on either side, but I'm going to add on the right side, and I'm going to add again. And then right here are some really fun buttons because now I can separate those.
It evenly separates
Evenly
them.
separates.
Interesting. That's very
And
cool.
right space. And you can do this with most any designs when you're doing multiples. So it's one of my favorite buttons on the machine when I'm doing multiples. And then hit OK.
All right.
And then we do embroidery.
And we've got it here on this rinse away.
And notice what happens here. It color sorts. So it's going to do them all at the same time.
Nice. Okay, so I've done the black rickrack here. And it was time for me to change out to the red bobbin that Sue made and put on the red thread as well. And stitch out the next part. Okay, so I had to change here the bobbin to green, I should say the bobbin down there to green, as well as the thread to green. And I'm gonna continue on with the rickrack over here. All right, hold on. Okay, look at that. It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Took like 10 hours. I'm exaggerating, but it felt like 10 hours.
I like how she exaggerates.
Cause you know, it makes it funny.
Pretty fun. Yeah.
So it's guess what time of day it is? It's chocolate time.
Chocolate time.
That's right. Okay, now we're gonna go rinse this off. I'm gonna cut off the excess.
Yeah.
And we're gonna rinse it off and let it dry on some paper towels while we do the cuff. All right, see you in just okay. So Sue has put on some soft cutaway on a hoop and we're gonna get ready to do the cuff. And this has got the foolproof webbing back behind it. And we're gonna make a little, like a bone out of this. And then we'll put the name on here and personalize it. It's just gonna look adorable. We're gonna use the template for the cuff and cut our fabric to size.
Dotted line is so that this is in half. And we want to center our bone on the center of that, right? So oh, I lost it. So there's the center of our hoop.
Okay, that's very clever. All right, so we need to pull up the bone. There it is. We're gonna set it. We're gonna stitch out
A placement.
placement. I think we'll change the thread. So we needed to change out the, that and the bobbin so that we don't have gold. Just, that's not my preference. Okay. The next thing that needs to be stitched out is where to put the applique. Okay, so we're gonna stitch that out.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
What am I gonna do?
It's gonna go on the cuff. You have no cuff.
Okay, all right. I need a cuff.
You need a cuff.
This is not a standalone. Okay, here we go.
But you need to be sure that it's centered side.
Looks pretty centered.
You have your points here.
All right, I'm gonna have to have two hands for this. All right, so we put the fabric in, and as you can see, there's the chart, what do you call it? Chalk lines to be able to figure out where the center of the bone is. And there it is. And we put it on there. However, we need to go back and do it again because we're going to put this. This is going to be placed right on there, and then we have to go back. We can't just keep going straight forward on the next segment. All right, so now we know where to put it. Cover it up. Make sure it's got good coverage. Tap it down.
Put that sticky to good use.
Yep. That zigzag in the black. There you go. Next is the name. All right, the next thing is we need to be able to find our little charms. And so we're gonna go in here again. And you'll see, now this is what we did last time. This over here is the charms. And there they are. And we're gonna set it. Okay, they're gonna show us the first thing is it's gonna be stitched out. It's right here, and we're gonna let it do just that. Let's pick our thread. Okay, so here is the bone on there. We're gonna put the foam on top of that bone and then tape it down. Okay, go. Whoop. Guys, look at how pretty this is. It's so pretty. All right, so let's take it off and see what it looks like. We can do this with one hand. Actually, we'll use, oh, Sue, now we got 3 hands going here. Thanks, Sue.
about it as big.
And remember, we can take that off with just a blow dryer or heating tool. Oh, it's gonna look so great. Okay, so we flipped the hoop over so you can see that it's on the opposite side. We're gonna put one piece of rickrack in here like this. We're gonna tape it over to the edge. We're gonna peel this off of our fabric and place it over the back of this.
If you turn it over so
Oh,
on a
yes.
flat surface,
Good idea.
you can get it down really well.
Ta-da!
Wahoo. Okay, you want to be okay. Just telling you to be sure about your rickrack so it doesn't get stuck underneath.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right. Should we go back to our green?
Yeah. And we're gonna just tack it around.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to change it back to the green bobbin thread
Oh.
again.
Back to green. Hold on.
All right. It's time now to be able to stitch the rickrack in with that fabric behind. And this is what it looks like on the screen. Okay, so I've gone to the black and the black bobbin thread, and now we're doing the satin stitch. Okay, Sue left me alone for just a moment on that last video, and I forgot to cut this off and iron it, so I gotta do that. All right, now it's time for the satin stitch. Look at that, so cute. Now we're gonna check and see we're ready to place the next one down. Yep. Okay. It's time to put the foam over the top of the bone.
Now, what color are you gonna do the bone?
The inside of the bone, actually, I'd like to do it the same with the green. Okay, ready to start the inside part of the foam. So the next part is to take off the foam. I'm gonna put it back in, and I'm gonna change the thread to black for the woof part. Actually, it's for a little paw print and the woof. Here we go. The little paw print. And now for the woof. That on there, and the rip rack is above it. And now I'm going to stitch it out to make sure that it's in there in place. This is where we're at. Stitch. And I'm going to keep it black like I did the last one. And this is the final and last part of the charms. Okay, so Sue has put the right sides together, and now she's clipping the pieces together so that when she sews them, they don't move. Alright, so Sue is sewing now the right sides together. So as Sue was sewing up the two front sides together, she put the rickrack in. Oh, that is so cute. You can just tell it's really cute. And sewed it into the seam. Yep. So we're sewing the two
of the cuff. So I'm sewing both
right sides together.
Right sides together. So I'm supposed to pull the cuff in. Oh, I'm supposed to press the seams open.
Fold the cuff in half, wrong sides together.
Matching up our side seams.
Okay, matching them up.
Okay, now make the cuff. Alright, press along the folded edge to insert the cuff inside the stocking.
Oh, so you're going to press along this folded edge?
Well, but this part is the part that's going to be sewn. This is the tricky part.
Okay. This was taxing for us. Here is the product. the final product. You can see the little chenille pad. It's so cute. It's for Perry, the poodle. Here's the Rick Rack, and guess what we get to put on it?
Woohoo.
I want to put it on around the Rick Rack to show them what it looks like all together done. Oh, look at that. Okay, whew. Now, took us 2 days. 2 days. You do better than us.
Yeah.
I want you to do better than us. Tell us, oh yes, it only took us just a few hours.
We like that.
Yes.
So we love our Rick Rack.
That's right. Rick, make us proud.
Yeah.
Here's Perry. He's getting ready to get his stocking. He knows I got something in my hand. Nope. You got to get down. 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 Yes. Now you wait. I think he likes his stocking. What do you think, Perry? Do you like your stocking? I think he likes what's in the stocking. What do you think? Hey, Perry. Oh, he got the big piece in his mouth. All right, there it is. The stocking. Have fun.
Thank you for enrolling in License to Create Warm Winter Wishes. I'm sure each of you either own or are subscribing to Embellish Maker software and Craft and Cut software. So what I'm about to show you, each of you will be able to recreate yourself. For the embroidered pet stocking, you may want to personalize it by adding your favorite pet's name. Let me show you in Embellish Maker software how quick and easy it is to achieve this. We're going to be working with text, and I'd love to show you a few different things that you can do with Embellish Maker to personalize the stocking. This is the shortcut key to text, and just by creating this, it creates straight horizontal text. If we travel over to our text drawer, we have many more options. If you see the letter N, this means it's a craft and cut function that's going to work great if you want to put heat transfer foil or vinyl on your stocking. We're going to just work, first of all, with straight text. I'm going to left click and then left click, and then over in the properties window, I can type in anything that I want. I'm going to type in the word Maggie and then apply. Now, if we zoom in here, I want to show you some easy things to do to manipulate the text. First of all, if you want to change the text, click in this area, font, and then the drop-down menu. If you want to change the name, you're going to click here to go ahead and choose the name. Now, when you hover your mouse over the image of the font, it will tell you at the bottom how high and how low you can go, the maximum and minimum height. Make sure you stay within those parameters. Now, looking at this screen, we can look in 3D and you'll see some orange squares and some diamonds. Let me show you what that means. You can edit the font by going up or down with the diamond, or you can click and then you'll get these box and you can rotate. All right, you can do all kinds of things. Here's your undo button. We'll get back to where we were, and I'll just keep going till I get back to the center. Now, with the diamonds, they're like a choo-choo train. We can space the letters closer or further apart. When you're done with editing the fonts, left click on the select tool to get out of the edit mode. If I love this font, I'm ready to go. Here's where you're going to see a shortcut to the size. Now let me show you another way that you can work with fonts. If we choose a circular text, I'm going to left click. Notice how my mouse now has the font tool active. I'm going to click here, and over in this area, I'm going to type in the word Maggie again and apply. And let me show you how these functions work. So we still have the same arrows, and they work the same, or not the arrows, but the diamonds and the little boxes, like I just showed you. All right, let me undo those. But in addition to the circular text, let me zoom out a little bit. We have this black circle, a blue circle, and another black circle. Let me show you what they do. This allows you to make your diameter of your circle smaller or larger. Zoom out, and I can do that again. So you can go larger or smaller. Now if you lose this, just click back again. On this little blue circle, this is my rotate icon. So I can rotate those letters to a different point on the circle. Let me undo this to get back to where I wanted to go. And now this spaces the letters further apart or closer together. When you have your design how you want it, you can click off by selecting the select tool. Here's a fun font, a vertical frame. I can select this, click anywhere, and we can just do the same thing and apply. Same tools that I've shown you to move the letters closer together are here. Now what I want to show you is something really fun. For those of you who have access to our heat transfer foil from Embellish or heat transfer vinyl, here's a craft and cut feature that is active inside of Embellish Maker if you own or are subscribing to both of the software programs. We'll click this. And if Maggie is the name that I want to put, I will first select any font. And then we have just this pre-picked font that comes in. But if I want to see exactly what Maggie looks like, I'm going to put a dot in custom, and then I'm going to type in Maggie and OK. And now you can see all of these different fonts. And so I'm working with craft and cut fonts, but I can also work with true type fonts. And this will be any font that you have on your computer. So for instance, here's I Love Glitter. And I would be able to take this font and import. It throws it into my working screen. Now this is artwork, not stitches. And so what I can do to create a true type font for heat transfer vinyl is I can come over here and use the craft and cut feature for outline view only. Next, I'm going to break the text apart so I can overlap and weld it. So we'll just move the fonts over. And again, this would be working with heat transfer vinyl or heat transfer foil. If I wanted to add a name, but I don't want to embroider it, I want to cut it out on a digital cutter. Now that I have all of those overlapped, you can see in this area it's going to be a problem. But I will select everything by using Control and the letter A. And when you hover your mouse over, you can see all of these fun things available to you. Right now, we're going to use weld. And look what happens between the letters. It's going to weld them together. I do want to mirror image this, so I can transform this and flip it. And now, before I cut it out on my digital cutter, I'm going to use Save to Cut. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to choose the brand of cutter that I'm using, and I'll choose heat transfer vinyl. What I love about this, you guys, is it gives me all of the settings for the blade depth, the speed, and the pressure. It tells me, hey Hope, mirror image the design. I did that. You're going to place the shiny side of the vinyl on the mat. Here's a video. I can click and watch a video. And then when I click next, it's going to remind me, hey Hope, did you mirror image that design? And I did. And when I'm done, it's going to generate the file. It's going to save it in my scan and cut language or whatever cutter I selected. When I'm done, I have this print template that pops open that gives me all of the recipe for success. I can print it and I can then close it. And when I'm all done, I'm going to go back to that same folder and I'm going to find the vinyl design. And here's my editable design and the one that I copy and paste to put into my scan and cut. Easy peasy. So there's several ways that you could personalize your design. Now, one of the things that you saw in the photograph is we added this little paw. So I have the design bone hanger in my software. I'm going to select layer 8 and I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to find that Maggie that I liked, and I like this one. So now I can paste it here, and I can move this little dog bone paw wherever I want. Now if you own Craft and Cut, here's the copy and paste shortcut. So I can put this up here, and if I love it, I'm going to save it and then print it. Now to get a template to print, select Print Preview, and then under the settings, make sure you have the actual size, show crosshair, and thick crosshair. And when you're done, you can print this with Embellish sticky printable template in your printer. You'll only need to print page 1. Now to save this, File, Save As, and save it as a WAF file first, and then go back and save it into the file format that your embroidery machine reads. Hope this helps you. I can't wait to see your stockings.